Yeah, you got no way to switch back. Yeah.
program has been rated mature by the Gaming Radio Network. It is unsuitable for under 18s due to content of an adult nature, which may be classed as offensive to some people.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we do that, and that's how we start a show. This is Eve Radio, this is TnT, and I'm Wiggles, and I'm playing with my light behind me just to get it right. There we go. It's TnT, it's Wiggles. This is Eve Radio. It's all good. It's all go. It's Thursday night talk. Hello. Wiggles engage. Yes. Hello. It's annoying. I can't see the amount of people in Twitch because there's a problem with Twitch IRC, but I can see people and I can talk. And then I can see it from the dashboard in Twitch as well, so I can see it there. Anyway, good evening. How are we doing? It's another Thursday, and I'm joined with Dirk as always. How you doing, Dirk?
Hey, what's up?
It's all good. I'm going to close that window slightly because it is there's a cat outside, and it's the cat outside that we have at the house, and it screams a lot, and also it likes to come in. So I've just dragged Urzil in. How you doing, Urzil?
Doing good.
Doing good. Well, welcome to Thursday Night Talk, where we just ramble on for 2 hours about EVE Online news, gaming news, tech news, all the usual rubbish, as they say. So yeah, pretty interesting week so far. It's been a busy week. Dirk's on the green screen now. He's got the.
I am.
He has the green screen.
I'm still trying to work out some kinks, but yeah, I'm trying this out.
That's the way it is. You work out a little bit here, a little bit there. You play with it. I could get one behind me. I just can't be bothered. And now I've got a Skype beep. Who's that from? I bet that's from Shadow. Is it from Shadow? I don't know who it's from. I need to look. Oh, why do people do this when we go live? So I can just turn Skype off for a second there and I can actually see it. Some random person
talking up until the last minute.
No, it's not. It's someone else talking random things about WoW, and I'm doing a show, kind of. Anyway, so Thursday night. What's new? I know what's new. Me and Dirk started another new project, kind of a thing, a majig. It's a podcast. It's a daily podcast. Dirk hasn't been on it yet, but he's going to be on it. He wants to help out and all that.
Yeah.
What's the easiest thing to describe it as? Oh, it's the New Eden update. Yeah, that's what I call it.
It's a news brief, right? I mean,
it's a news brief. And you know what? I'm going to play you tonight's episode now because I can and I will. And I need to mute Skype. There we go. I'm going to play it now. So there we go. It's playing now. And just listen to it. And we'll shut up for a second. Welcome to New Eden Update, Episode 3 for Thursday, June 18th, 2015. I'm Wiggles, and here are a roundup of a few stories from around New Eden. Syke Stevens reports on thebotany.com that Pandemic Legion loses 42 billion ISK in Wicked Creek. The battle started around 1700 Eve time in GRHS TAC B. Pandemic Legion clashed head-on with a Dream Fleet supported by RVB Red Alliance and others, quote. And he goes on to state that there was a rare decisive loss for Pandemic Legion. In an update, Doom Chinchilla of Pandemic Legion stated the fight was over SPUs of this system. For the full article, please see the link in the show notes. EVE News 24 Slavin Hardin reports on the battle in the system of 8 TAC YNBE of the Quirius region this morning around 0300 Eve time. The Guardian of the Galaxy Coalition suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of Pandemic Legion over a confederation of XX Pizza XX Tower in the system, he quotes. GOTG forces lost an estimated 25 billion ISK with the battle lasting around 20 minutes. See the link in the show notes for more information. CSM 10 member Corbex posted on the forums back on the 12th of June about an upcoming sounding board with CCP regarding the fleet warp changes and how that would play out in wormhole space. The sounding board took place yesterday and the SoundCloud recording has been posted and transcribed and is available at the link in the show notes. CCP Surges posted the devlog title. Stop it there, but that's just generally what it is. It's me talking headlines.
I'm going to stop it there.
I'm going to stop it there. It's me talking headlines for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then I have a little bit of a what's it called? We have a quick market update on there, which is literally me checking the market for stuff, and that's pretty much it. That's how it is for now. Going forward, yeah, I want to.
I like the logo Javik did.
Yeah. There's the one that's on the site, which is there actually on the Twitch stream. And I've got a slightly blown up one for the podcast, the iTunes feed, because you have to have one for iTunes and stuff like that. But anyway, so yes, we've got that live. That's running now. It's another little project that we're running. Again, totally free. No barrier to entry, no cost to anyone. However, I am potentially going to start a Patreon for it. And there's a reason. Not because I want to use it to RMT money out into my real life and then give people back carriers and stuff.
That's right. You got no hits to give away anyways.
I've actually got a little bit, but yeah. What I want to do is use it to improve that show and improve Total Eve and improve this show. So basically, use it to improve the show. Now, long term, if people like it, and I'm doing it daily, it's out every day about 2100 GMT or before. I normally get it out before then. I want to improve it. So I want to improve, equipment and stuff like this. So, for example, if I want to increase the equipment, a quality of what I have, if I need like a new mic stand or something like that, or say, for example, Dirk, you need a new mic or a mic stand for something, or we can go, right, we've got the money for it, we'll improve the show. We'll put money towards the hosting costs as well, so it covers the back end of hosting Total Eve and also New Eden Update, because they're hosted on the same place. Long and the short of it, that's what I want to do with it, because I like doing the daily stuff. Again, it's short. It's a short blast that is 4 or 5 minutes long, that literally just gives you the information that you need. And the pop box in Twitch says, let's not trade ISK for dollars, let's just throw Wiggles monies. No, I don't want you to. That's the thing. I don't want people just to throw me money, ever. I don't want
That's
that.
kind of what Patreon is. I mean,
It is, well,
it's official donation.
kind of is.
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe's different.
Our show has cancer. GoFundMe.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God, that should be the Tuesday night show's motto.
Could be.
We don't have Patreon. We have GoFundMe.
We know Patreon. This show is just cancer. But yeah, so yeah, that's a new project I've been working on. NewEdenUpdate.com. Again, it's very brief. I do it Monday to Friday. I will have guests eventually on there. I mean, we'll have Dirk on and a few other people on and this and that, but we'll get guests on to do a little talk segment. It won't be long. It won't be, it's an hour podcast. It'll be, the max I'm planning is 15 minutes. Maximum. I mean, is that a good idea? Or...
Well, I mean, look, it's an update, right? It is basically, to be perfectly honest, to some extent, it is the read me what's going on at Total Eve
pretty much
kind of version of things.
The last few days is...
Hey, I can't even be bothered to log on to a desktop that has all the headlines. Can you please tell me what the headlines are?
Pretty much, yeah. The reason I made Total Eve is because me and Dirk are lazy. We want a resource for what we do.
But what we found is that there are some people who are even lazier.
Exactly.
and want it book on tape.
Exactly, they do. And as I said, it's effort. That's two writers, isn't it? If you can find a tool that takes 99% of what you do away and makes it easy, you're going to use it, aren't you? So...
Yeah.
Meh.
But I kind of thought it was hilarious when he said there's people lazier than us. That like, yeah, they're just sitting there on their couch like a Zen master, like, you have not mastered the art of lazy, grasshopper.
Drayden's asking what happened to my test Durka stand back.
Oh, it's still
I actually
there.
have that hidden up.
It's there.
It may make an appearance during the show.
It may do.
We talk about something relevant.
So anyway, that aside, yeah, follow me on Twitter at WigglesGRN or one of the various places. I always tweet stuff out, as ways, but more information updates coming soon. So let's get on to Eve stuff. And as you actually heard in the Eden update, there was a wormhole soundboard this past week, actually yesterday. Corbex arranged it, and it was recorded, and it was also transcribed. And this is an interesting thing, because there's some interesting stuff that came out of this. Pretty much, the I don't want to say the annoyance of it, of people saying, "Oh, we want to do this," and "Oh, we want to do that," but the thing was that CCP Larkin was there, and
Larkin.
Larkin, yeah, sorry, I missed an R. Larkin.
It's an I.
Yeah, and I'm just It's been a long week. Basically, that was Shadow coming through a bit louder because he's on a mobile, I guess. Yeah. The going through of it was that the wormhole. The Fleet War Champions. We didn't talk about this really when it came out. Was how is it going to affect people in wormholes, because they live on bookmarks? Really, they are bookmark centric. And
look, there's nothing changing bookmarks here, but what there is warping multiple people to a bookmark. That's changing, but bookmarks aren't changing.
Yeah, the problem is, I think is with groups, because they want to warp to tactical pounces and things like that. That's where it, to me.
Okay, look, tactical pounces. What are the only things that are missing from wormholes related to this that aren't going to be, let's say, missing? Okay, so they don't have gates, right?
Yeah.
Their gates are wormholes, and a wormhole there would technically be a bookmark, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
They don't have stations. But that's not like they warp to a bookmark of a station there before, anyways.
Yeah.
They still have moons. They still have planets.
Yes.
They still have the other celestials that are in other places, right? I believe that some of the stuff that comes up on the scanner, it's still the same. They can still fleet warp to those. What they can't do are the same things everybody else won't be able to do, which is fleet warp to a dead space bookmark,
exactly.
fleet warp to a pounce, fleet warp to a pause.
Fleet warp to a cosmic signature that only one guy scanned. Fleet warp to combat probe results.
The only way they'd be able to do it is if that person who scanned
which is everybody. I mean that doesn't affect wormholes any differently than it affects everybody else.
Again, we talked about it when this came out, and it's been talked about. You talked about it on Neocom the other day as well. The point is that everyone's going to have the same problem, and the change is that, okay, it's going to affect wormhole residents a bit more because, again, they don't have as many celestials and have gates, and gates are the only celestial they don't have, or end stations maybe. But when it comes down to it, I just feel it's the what about me crowd again. And I don't want to bash on wormholers. And Machete Basing Game makes a valid point. One person has the bookmark, then all warp to that person. And that's how
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to is, look, your use of scouts, your use of forward observer type characters, all right, is going to become more meaningful. And this goes for wormholes. It goes for everybody out there when it comes to this. That you can fleet warp to another fleet member. So your use of those things is going to become more prevalent. Now, some of the K-Color wrote something out there as well, regarding this. And look, I totally understand. This is going to make it harder. It is going to make it harder for one person to try and command all sorts of different moving pieces as a fleet commander that they have done now. There is going to be the requirement for a reliance on other players here.
Exactly.
And your trust in those other players. The whole concept of fleet warp that we've been living under for all of these years, has been, I don't need a partner in this. I don't need somebody that I can trust to be in the right place where they say they're going to be at the right time, because I'll just do it myself. I'll second monitor it. I'll triple box, whatever it is I have to do as a fleet commander to make sure that I don't have to rely on someone else for a crucial piece of how I'm going to maneuver this fleet.
Exactly.
I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying that when you take away somebody's candy that we all like candy, and we don't like it when somebody takes away our candy.
Oh,
and it's going to make it harder on all of us. I'm not a supporter of this from the standpoint of I want things to be as hard as humanly possible. But I kind of understand why they're doing it.
Oh, exactly. Again, there was the great write up this week. I think it was on TMC actually. I think I talked about it on a New Eden Update this week. I'll have to find it. It was yes, it was. It was there. It was on. I've got to go back now and find it. I think Who wrote that thing on? Was it? Yeah, I'm to go back and look now. It was probably yesterday. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. K Color, as you said, and he said that the Fleet Warp changes misses the mark, and it does maybe for a little bit for some of the things, but overall, I mean, I agree with him wholeheartedly. The fact that we had 1 month notice on this, there's 1 month to get ready.
How long did we have on Phoebe? And that was a much more substantial change across. I mean, we had a couple months. I mean, basically, the hints of it. Not the details of it, right? But the hints. Look, jump drives are going to be changing. Range is going to get nerfed. We're gonna come up with this thing called fatigue, and we really don't know exactly how we're going to implement that just yet. I think it was all of a couple of months, maybe 2 months. How long would you have needed here to know that you're no longer going to be able to use Fleet Warp? I mean, how long would have been enough?
I don't know.
I don't think any length of time would have been enough. I mean, would 6 months have been able to prepare you better?
Well, maybe some people, they might have just got their panties on in a twist. But yeah, it's just the annoyance is that you're always going to get the entitled / what about me crowd, and that's not good.
I don't think it's about being entitled. Okay, it's just about, like I said it last week. I mean, anytime you take away something from somebody, where you go from it being easier to harder, or where you go from it being more lucrative to less lucrative, whatever that thing is, the nerf. Nobody likes nerfs. Nobody likes any kind of nerf, even if they understand why something is being nerfed. They don't like it. They don't like the fact that they're getting it.
Totally agree. And we see this in WoW all the time when we play WoW, and you see it in other games as well. When in Elite, when they nerf something, then they change something because they decided, you know what, that's a bit overpowered. We're going to change it down. Well, right, you agree with it, but I just, it's again.
I would have just said, give me enough time to get my shit out of the wormhole.
Mm-hmm. And they have. You've got a few weeks, and that's it. You've got enough stuff to do it. If you don't like it, then gone.
I don't know. I don't know who's. I do know who's complaining about this. The people that I've been reading complaining about this are the people who. I love knocking on these people. They're PvPers. They're not. They're not PvPers. There's no PvPing involved when you bring 50 dudes to kill 10. That's not. You're not. That's not PvP. It's a straight up gank, right? So the gankers are pissed off because they want to be able to just right click and send all their ships at the same time on top of the host or top of the the soft target. It does give the soft target more time to get out, right?
Yeah, Shadow. When you said PvPers, are you like air quoting PvPers?
Oh, I'm not even giving them that much credit.
Well, look, there are obviously different versions of PvP in this game. Okay, I mean, some of the people that are having taking issue with it are your small gang PvPers that enjoyed bouncing. Okay, other ones that are taking issue with it are your big fleet commanders. K Color being one of them. In trying to corral 250 people around and herd them all as a group. But look. This goes down to, as I said on probably the first day that it came out, miners. You're somebody, you're sitting there, you're not IS boxing, you're running 3-4, miners or whatever. Okay, and what you would normally do is you would normally warp all your miners to a spot. You can't do that anymore. Or if a neutral comes into local, boom, you fleet warp your little squad out, of the thing to the pause. You're going to have to come up with a different method. Something that they can all warp to together. But it doesn't just hurt PvPers. It hurts everybody who is trying to control more than just their one character. Mm-hmm. And we all have more than one character that we roll at any one given time. A lot of most people, I think, in this game, at one point or another, will be affected by this fleet warp change.
Exactly, and. It's how it is.
The miner has an easy solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Warp to your Orca.
Welsh bag in Twitch is I personally like the changes.
Warp to your booster.
Yeah, I personally like the changes since 9 times out of 10 people warp to me or the other decal anyway. It's no big deal. 1 out of 10 won't type in bed again. Just, again, silly little funny shit like that. But again, it makes the game harder and people will play if they want to play, maybe.
I'm just not really sure the purpose of this. I guess, someone said the other night that CCP is famous for just pulling out things instead of adding improvements. And, at first I thought that was pretty accurate, but the more I think about it, I think it might just be the business plan. Is if the goal for CCP is to turn individual pilots into individual pilots, where is the feature enhancement to make that happen, right? Because they just keep taking, but the Lord is also supposed to give it. And the Lord hasn't been giving anything. He's just been, constantly wiping out Gamora every 5 seconds. I don't really understand the long-term strategy here, other than just, finding a really nice feature that people have been using for the last 10 years and figuring out a way to remove it as fast as possible.
I think that's a good point. I don't know that I've seen where they've made the case for, here's the problem, here's our solution for it. Or if this is just a matter of the problem is in and of itself, come on, guys, this was too easy.
Mm-hmm. Still, again, it's just, well, that's what will happen. You people will get on with it and carry on, and and the old adage, adapt or die, will apply in this sense 100% of the time. And
yeah, look, I think people will adapt. I think that the days of sending the least among you out there as a forward scout, okay, or get me a position, burn me well, I mean, you could still send somebody else, but you're gonna have to trust those people. Okay, it's no longer going to be just take the green and throw them into a position of, are they going to be in the right position?
Oh dear, I've just looked at Twitter because I've replied to Harry about something. Harry again, Shadow, this is mean. Harry said, "Why the fuck do you guys like that retard Shadow on your show? He's a fucking moron." Noisy replied to him before I had a chance to reply and said, "Hey, I need him around to make me look smart." I don't know. Can everyone just get a bed and hug it
bank
out?
shots, like shots fired all over the place.
Yeah, it's just.
It's Harry's style. I thought you'd know that by now.
Don't worry. I think between the two of them, they probably have one full-time job.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've beat that a little bit. We've beat the wormhole fleet. But if you want to see that, the link will be in the show notes. If you're listening in post, and if you're listening live, I posted it in game IRC and Twitch. So yeah, you can catch up on that.
And let me just ask: did you read the whole thing?
I didn't read the whole thing. I've skim read most of it because it only came. I only saw it. Was there any?
Because unfortunately, I just haven't had a chance to read it. Okay. Look, Corbex was hosting it, so therefore it was going to be wormhole centered. But was there really anything that kind of came out of it that said, "Wow, yeah, this is a significant disadvantage for wormholes"?
No, the
for
entire
wormholes
thing that came
as a
out of it
minority.
was, like every other conversation you have with CCP over something groundbreaking, they go, "Oh, we're really taking your points into consideration. We'll get back to you." It's like, why are you even here? Are you just here for us to complain to somebody, and then you just take your feedback to some focus group, back at a conference table at CCP and say, "Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, can someone tell me what's next on the agenda, because we have to move past this." This is what happens every single time.
I think one of the things the first question was if the change is going to happen, bookmark propagation needs to be fixed so it's faster. They were talking about bookmark propagation because it is a bit slow apparently. When you make a court bookmark, it takes a while for people to see, because you have to have a session change timer, don't you, for it to appear if you're in the same system, I believe.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would they want to make it faster if the whole point of doing this is to not allow people to just jump on a single target? I mean, I'm assuming, I don't really know the full purpose, but let's pretend the purpose is prevent that 250-man fleet from just being able to ping, at will all over the grid. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, does that sound accurate? I mean, I'm asking for feedback because I'm not really sure what they're trying to do with this.
I don't even think they know what they're trying to do with it.
No, I think they do know what they're trying to do with it. I mean, look, they just don't want. I mean, look, we've always. For how long have we kind of made jokes about the concept of fleet warp? Okay, look, what I don't think that they're trying to do with it, or at least I hope they're not trying to do with it, because that is missing the mark, is putting the onus on the individual pilot. Because in these cases, it's not about the individual pilot, having that bookmark that he can work. It's about putting the onus on more than just one guy. But obviously not on every F1 pusher or every member of whatever fleet.
So you'll still be able to warp to your scout. So your prober lands 10K off the target. Everyone just right-clicks and warp to the person. I mean, I'm not really sure how they're fixing a problem.
Well,
because right now you don't have to send the prober.
Yeah, you just...
And in a lot of cases, the prober is a buff-giving ship or, something like that.
I mean, it's going to add... The prober's going to be cloaked, so what is it going to add? It's going to add... it'll probably make, for the gankers, maybe they're not fully thinking this through, it might make their life even better. Because now, instead of fleet warping your entire fleet and your slowest ships are going to warp at the same speed as your fastest ships, or vice versa, you're faster than your slow ships, your tackle's going to land first. Yeah. Right? So if you're looking to grab a target, instead of having... the grid appear with all your heaviest ships coming at the same warp speed as your tackle's going to land very quickly because obviously the warp speed changes have made that happen. They'll land, bubbles will go up, interceptors will land and grab points. This might actually make their life better. You're kind of forcing them to do what they should have been doing before. It's send the tackle in ahead of time.
I think the only...
But guess what has a higher warp speed than your heavy DPS ships?
You tackle?
Besides tackle.
Logistics.
Oh, your logistics?
Logistics. So you just turned your logistics wing into sitting ducks. GG.
Well, hold on. Remember, okay? When you fleet warp, everybody should be warping at the lowest common denominator speed.
Everyone warps at the lowest speed, but if you have individuals warping, the logistics ships will arrive second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about having individual. If you're warping to another fleet member and you're fleet warping the fleet to that fleet member, then it's not about that. I mean, it's not about telling everybody in the fleet warp individually.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those issues that's going to play out, and there's CCP is soliciting feedback on the forums for it. So if you go to the features and ideas forum and give constructive feedback, don't just spur and head roll on the keyboard because that gets no one anything ever. Said everyone. I mean,
I think that one of the things that they do need to determine is whether or not they're satisfied with how some structures, it's not really the structure, that is a bookmark. You know what I mean? Fine, if you want to get away, if you want to, stop this whole, fleet warping everybody to a probe scan, to a legitimate bookmark, but maybe something like a pause, or maybe a wormhole, okay, should be kind of given. Well, see, because these are things. I mean, a wormhole is something that's got to be scanned out. So I mean, it's just not on the.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really hard.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. It's one of those weird sort of convoluted things, and still. Anyway,
I mean, it'll be interesting. I think there probably will be some minor changes, but
just come out. CCP, I don't think we're going to walk back this change. We're not walking back the jump changes, right? Just say, I don't even have that big of a problem with this. Like I said, I think for fleets that are trying to get on top of a target, this actually might be a good thing for them. It's not going to be as easy, but imagine you have a fleet of 50 hacks and then some tackle and some dictors, right? I mean, those dictors and tackle are going to land first. I think this might actually be better, but okay, fine, whatever. People are complaining, whatever. If they just said, hey, this is part of our game plan to bring the onus back onto the individual pilot, and there's more things coming, and not just lie to us, but we're going to add mechanics, we're going to add things to the game instead of just keep taking access to everything. Then I couldn't. What am I going to say? I can't really complain because we've all said for many years. Well, I don't want to say all. It's been a reoccurring theme for many years that we do want to see EVE turn into more of a pilot-centric game.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense because at the end of the day, I'm going to be open and honest here. Sitting around just pressing F1 because you've been told to can get fucking boring very fast. Even if you are
well,
on
it can. But for some players,
mm-hmm.
okay, that is perhaps the niche that they fit into. Maybe for a while, maybe forever. Okay,
mm-hmm.
They're good at taking order. I mean, look, there's no difference to that in real life. You got drones, and I don't mean the little things that ratchet out of your ship. Okay, I mean you have people who they're always going to be the follower, and they follow commands. Some of them really well, some of them not so much. And that's okay. We should have pieces to the game where there's nothing wrong with being an F1 pusher. Okay,
mm-hmm.
I mean.
Yeah, and also I want to say hello to all of the Iron Bank viewers who've just started watching us on Twitch because he's hosting our feed tonight. Hello to you guys. There we go. Anyway, moving.
But here, I can actually use my other thing. Here, I'm going to throw it up on Twitch. It'll be the development team behind the Phoebe changes and Fleet Warp.
Oh dear.
And there they are. The development team behind the Phoebe changes and Fleet Warp.
Oh dear.
They are residents of Dirkistan.
Anyway. Moving on. Let us. We're about half an hour into the show. We've got about an hour and a half to go. Let's do a little bit of tech news, and then we'll come back to some EVE stuff. Let's start with AT&T. AT&T have been told, they haven't been fined. So before you go and read, if you see it, they have the FCC has slapped AT&T with a potential $100 million fine. And you know what this is for?
$100 million,
which is still a lot of money, really.
That's an Austin Powers joke, dude.
I know. I know.
When he went back in time, or when he went forward in time.
Yeah, he said $1 million, then $100 million, then $1 billion. But yeah,
it's not funny when you got to explain the joke, boys.
No, no, it's just.
I know.
It's AT&T.
It's AT&T.
Friggin' peanuts.
Exactly. They accuse the country's the US's second largest cellular carrier of improperly slowing down internet speeds for customers who have signed up for quote unlimited data plans. If you didn't know what it is, obviously AT&T provide unlimited data plans. When you use a certain amount, if you go over they call their fair usage policies, if you like 4 or 5 gigabytes of data, they will slow you down sometimes to less than a dial-up modem. And 700. Well, there has been a point that they've slowed people down to 28.8k, which is nothing nowadays. So.
God, it was nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing when it was like, oh my God, I got 28.8.
Yeah, well, it was great actually when you had 28.8.
Except all I was doing was hitting Prodigy or whatever.
Yep. Exactly, but no, there was that going on. So there was that came out today.
That's right. I said Prodigy, not AOL.
Mm-hmm. You could talk Prodigy. You could talk CompuServe.
CompuServe.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you used to get the discs in the mail?
Yeah, I know, really.
Can you believe that AOL still exists?
Of course it does.
I can't.
That's why they're being...
Time Warner owns them.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to own them.
Time Warner does own AOL.
No, Time Warner paid wicked money for them back in the day.
Oh, yeah, no. And then who was buying AOL recently? It wasn't Verizon, was it? Or someone was buying it. We talked about
Charter's buying
that was
Time
Charter,
Warner.
yeah. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but yeah. Anyway, the whole thing is AT&T going to get the fine. It's the largest fine ever levied by the agency, for the FCC. The AT&T implemented the practice in 2011, promptly thousands of customers to complain to the FCC, according to the agency standard, by not properly disclosing the policy to consumers who they thought they were getting unlimited data. The company violated the FCC's rules on corporate transparency, FCC Tom Wheeler said in a statement. consumers deserve to get what they pay for, as Wheeler said. Broadband providers must be upfront and transparent about the services they provide. The FCC will not stand by idle while consumers are deceived by misleading marketing materials and insufficient disclosures. Basically, what this means is it's been proposed. They've gone to appeal. Blah blah blah. They probably won't pay $100 million for it, but this just shows when you go and get a quote unlimited plan and you get cycled down speed wise, it's just not going to happen. But that leads on to another story that we will touch on very briefly right now. Because of this, well, not because of that, but I would say kind of on the same thing. Sprint has stopped throttling users on their unlimited data plans. Who'd have thunk it? So the AT&T apparently have got $100 million fine, and Sprint have just said, "Oh, we're not going to throttle our users who have unlimited data anymore."
Hey, for the American people, first let me tell you how good you have it in America. I'm now dealing with the UK model of bandwidth, in maybe the Canadian model too in Bermuda, and I'm paying $100 a month for every 5 gigabytes of data. So welcome to not America. Ooh. I have Sprint back home, and Sprint I have unlimited, and I don't think they would throttle your data, but I think it happened at 20 gigs. It was pretty high before they would start throttling it, but it was unlimited, and I loved it. I love it still to this day, and if they throttled it, I would be happy about it, but I wouldn't say a goddamn thing, because now I know what the rest of the world has to deal with.
There we go. Adding you to the call, Shadow, so I need to remute it once it comes through. There we go. Do that. Close that one there. Do that. There we go. It's done. So I just add you in, so hopefully it'll add in, and well, it's calling you apparently. But anyway,
Wiggles is a Mormon and can't drink.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, I know it's bullshit. That was great.
That's total bullshit. I've got Strongbow here, and if I'm that desperate, where is it? It's here.
God, that green screen looks so horrible.
I still have Jack here.
Why don't you like the space backgrounds?
I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Exactly. But yeah, so I'm not a Mormon. I just don't want to drink it.
Why don't you flash some Vegas pictures up there or something? Do some useful advertising.
I don't really want to drink it. 20 to
I don't think
12.
Put some bikini models up there. That'd be better.
I probably did take some. I think they're on my phone still.
There it is. Look at my hat. See, look. Nice.
Oh, got
the All Blacks. Nice.
Nice.
Definitely my team now.
The All Blacks, yeah, you can do the haka.
I'm playing rugby.
Oh, I know. You said last week on what position you playing?
No fucking idea. I'm the guy, one of the guys in the middle of the pack.
Oh, you're in the scrum. Which side? Left?
Sure.
Are you the prop or you the left or the right? What row?
Someone said I'm playing like a 3-hole, I guess.
3-hole. So are you playing? You're playing. Yeah, okay.
Is that left?
It's 3-hole. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the proper sign?
Hold on. In Twitch, the Pox Shadow and Light is black? ? Exclamation point ?
With an all black hat.
That's right.
Complete sense.
He had to pick an Australian team because Bermuda didn't have an All Blacks.
That's true.
New Zealand,
Very
but
true.
yeah.
New Zealand, that's sorry. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry to all you Australians who I just got it wrong.
Anyway, so yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to some more Eve topics because we might as well. Devblog today. There's 2 devblogs today. And one of them is by CCP Surge, brackets Icon Madness. Feedback on the new overview, brackets. This was interesting. It's like
I love the term they came up with. What was it? Icon Apocalypse?
Mm-hmm. Icon Apocalypse, yeah. That was a tongue twister to say on New Eden Update today.
I haven't looked at them. Are they any good?
What, the new icons?
The new icons? You know, it's not that they're good or bad. It's that they're different. It's that they are trying to convey more information than what they did before. Okay. Now, the question would be, do we really need that much information to have that level of granularity of the icons? Okay. I think that they make a solid case for smarter players, better players will be able to gain some level of advantage off of being able to glance at icons.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is... Eve's a hard game. Not just for the sake of being hard, but sometimes adding in a degree of difficulty helps separate the wheat from the chaff when it comes to certain things.
It does. And again, this is the thing.
And that's only because I've been playing Farming Simulator that I used wheat and chaff in that.
That's the thing. Side note on that, but have you been just cutting your chaff and spreading it on the field, or have you been, getting it into bales and saving it?
No, I've not gotten into picking up the chaff.
I mean, I'm looking at the combat ships right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this just came out yesterday, right? So I'm not too far behind.
Well,
no.
The icons are in game
with the June release.
Yeah, the icons are alive. This is just they want feedback on the new overview brackets.
Oh, right. Well, I haven't been able to log in in like 2 weeks. This laptop is garbage. Anyways, I don't really like the progression, to be honest. Through the combat ships, it doesn't really. Like, some of them make sense, like carrier to super carrier. Like, you can see an obvious progression between those. But, I don't know, it's a little murky in the top. And the Titan looks cool, I guess.
I mean, there's a more detailed progression than what there used to be, right? When it was just...
Yeah.
They use all the cool Space Invader ones. All the Space Invader ones they use in the drones.
Yeah, again...
It's like a little mini game you can launch inside the.
That'd be good. That'd be good if you could launch it and actually play Space Invaders. That would be good.
Other rugby players in the 3-hole position: Sasha Grey, Bonnie Rotten, and your mom.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, notice the freighter looks like a.
Yep,
kind of looks like a mushroom.
Yep, Mario.
Oh, no, I got it.
Yep. Again, I understand why CCP did it, to unify things, to make it look easier and make it look more like a space game or ranks of ships. You got rookie, frigate, and you got the ranks progress up. I understand that. The problem is, and also doing this, and when they did it, it fucked over a load of bot programs, which is always a good thing. It's always a good thing to fuck over bot programs, because the more you fuck them over.
Yeah, but what I will say is this, and it's something we've said on a number of occasions. You kind of don't change the gameplay of the game. You don't mess it up too much. You don't do too much of it just to get them and kind of imposition. Put the hurt on sort of everybody else in the process.
Exactly.
It's one thing if what you're doing is you're changing the font a little, or you're making some minor modifications in colors or whatever that might mess with those things. But you don't want to make a change like this to get them, because it has way too broad of a reach on everybody else.
But yeah, so CCP are now asking for feedback on them, and they outlined the changes. I love the fact that after the it shows them, it's got a little troll face going why, and it's got loads of different icons. They talked about the 4 key points of why the initial goals. One was improving players' situational awareness and reaction times in combat. Well,
should it be? Could it be optional? Should there be a checkbox, or could there be a checkbox that you have that says, "Look, I want the old models. I don't need that level of detail, but what I need is something very clear about what it was we had." But somebody else who wants that level of detail can get it. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to to have both, but I know on other occasions and other things that are now in the menus thing, you have the choice of, do you want, and I'm trying to think of what was it, the map?
Yeah, the map. You had the beta map, and then you could use it or not use it, but then it was pushed into the game as the main map, but it's still got the beta icon next to it. So that's what makes me, I don't say worried, but just a bit confused is the word I'm going to use.
I mean, I guess the question would be, and I'm kind of throwing this out there verbally to anybody from CCP or CSM or whatever they're listening, is if some players played with the old icons, okay, because that was an option in the game, would they have any form of advantage over players who chose to play with the new ones? And the higher level of detail is in it. Because what you wouldn't want is people using something that is technically giving a higher level of detail being at a disadvantage to people who were using something in a more simplified way.
Yes. Again, it's awkward is the word I'm going to use. It's the awkward factor, and I'm trying to find a USB cable because my light is running out of battery because it's a battery-powered light. So I've got to find that.
And yes, Pockbox, I totally understand that sometimes better systems replace the old ones, and I'm totally for change. Sometimes I just question whether or not these things may or may not be necessary, or if it's change just for the sake of change, which is sometimes in a video game very good. You kind of shake up the sandbox a bit.
Exactly, change for the sake of change, maybe, but sometimes there is do we really need the change? What benefit does it give? Does it give benefit to the entirety of the game, or is it just...
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't have to.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to give benefit to the entirety of the game. It has to give benefit to somebody who is able to utilize the level of information. You look at something like the market screen, with the graph and the data table and everything. That doesn't necessarily give benefit to everybody in the game, but it gives it to those people who are willing to look at those things and use the information.
Exactly.
It's a really nice chair, by the way. What chair is that?
Dirk's chair.
Captain Dirkstan.
Captain of Dirkstan. His chair.
I don't know. It's like an Arrow ripoff.
It's a rip-off. Let's turn that down a bit. There we go. My light's at full power again. I just to plug in a USB hub because the cable's not long enough and I need to get another one. But anyway, yeah, so there's that one. The next point is they want a clearer system for identifying objects in space, or different objects in space. Well, they kind of did get a clearer system, but it's also harder for people now. They don't fully understand it. So
I like the remember how before you had a lot of icons on the screen and you would hover over them, so you're pretty zoomed out, and it wouldn't really stack really well. I've really enjoyed that improvement, and hopefully they can kind of continue that along where you can stack them. I don't know, maybe you could lock the menu at some point so you can just scroll through all the items, because who knows, it could be 150 recs on that particular point of the screen. You're trying to find that one target or one rec throughout it. But
yeah,
I kind of feel watching the guys who stream the larger fights, and I've done it before too. It's a complete nightmare to try to pick stuff out of that mess in the middle.
Yeah, trying to find that one needle in a haystack, as they say, sometimes does get a bit annoying.
And get one pixel off, and all of a sudden it's an entirely different list.
Exactly.
Oh, right, yeah. It's annoying.
The next goal was unifying the iconography with the ship tree in ISIS, and then that's not obviously the people of Turkestan, but that's the interbus ship identification system. I got a
good ISIS story. There was a law firm in Bermuda called ISIS.
Oh dear.
And it's now called Apex.
Dear,
yeah, they've kind of ruined it for the Egyptian goddess thing, haven't they?
Yeah. If you're ISIS or Iris or all that crap, it's all gone. You can't now you can't pick ISIL anymore either. That's all.
Oh dear. So unifying the iconography with the ship trees in the interbus ship identification system, I can understand why you want to do that, because the ship identification system was slightly different to the in-game. People go, well, why are these brackets? Why are these squares? Why in there it's a different thing? Makes sense, correct? You really want to have it across the entire game so that if you see a frigate in one view, you know it's going to be a frigate elsewhere. It's like a sword is a sword and a shield is a shield. Except when the sword is a shield. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some tweaks there that they can probably make to align the icons a little better,
and,
up the chain.
And point 4, this is the one that got me and made me kind of laugh. Catering to several years of feedback telling us the old bracket system, separating ships only by size categories, was not useful as it could be.
This is one of those situations of be careful what you wish for, and it could potentially be the same exact thing regarding fleet work. That for a long time, a certain portion of players out there have raised these types of things as, they could do better. They could do better.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when they go to do better, everybody, oh, why did you change it? I mean, so you're always going to have the people who are, who are the front runners of being open to changes in these areas, and the ones who just like things kind of the way that they are. I think I'm one of those people that I'm a bit conservative. Change kind of, I get used to certain things and become staid in how I play. But when there's a good logical reason for it, then I can totally buy in. I think here we have one of those situations where I think that this is better. I just don't know that I, as a player, need all of that information that that these new icons kind of bring in. But this is kind of one of those situations where people have been saying, "Oh man, just freaking red crosses, oh this," for a number of years, and here they are, upgrading it with a whole lot more detail, and now it's like, oh god, no.
Yeah. They went the method to the madness as well. We'll go over this briefly. It says, in many space entities you can encounter in EVE can be categorized in numerous ways, and along the different axes, we knew we needed a system of underlying rules to managing the expanding set of icons. So certain heuristics or groupings could be identified at a glance. This began with the most high-level separations for which we assign basic ship profile. Ships, triangular, can move and are man-made. So basically, ships will have a triangular look to them. So they're like, for example, all the ships will have the triangular bit at the top and whatever. Structures, rectangular, are immobile and are man-made. So you got your station, you got your customs office, your container, and your post battery.
See, anything that looks like it has a roof on it
is a ship.
Should definitely be a structure. But it should definitely be a structure.
Yeah.
I mean,
But there's no up in space.
This is true.
it's true.
And celestial bodies, circular, are immobile, brackets, technically speaking, even though they're not, because we know everything moves in space, and were birthed by the Big Bang. So you've got your planets, your moons, your suns, and your wormholes. So they're circular-based icons, which, when you break it down to that sort of theory, makes sense, right?
Yeah. Look, I think the best icons that are there. Well, number one is the sun.
Yes.
It looks very sun-like now.
Yes.
And planets and maybe planets and moons. Those are definitely the best icons because they're so obvious.
And then they talk about another super important axis of distinction between entities were player controlled versus NPC AI controlled. After several explorations, we settled NPC AI as having the same basic shape, but with an inner feel compared to their player control countenance.
I have a question. Is
Yes.
Frozen Corpse gender neutral?
Frozen corpse?
No.
No.
There's females and males.
You can see males or females, yeah.
But they only have,
Boobies.
I feel triggered because they only have a frozen corpse that looks, assumingly, like a gender neutral character. It's not male or female.
Well, you right-click it,
Shouldn't
and the information it will tell you if it's female or male.
But shouldn't they make a frozen corpse icon that looks female as well?
Maybe they
Oh,
should.
you mean the icon itself?
Right. And what if the character's Mimitar? I mean, shouldn't it be darker than the Amar one?
And what if it's, Akira? Shouldn't it sort of have... something, I don't know.
I'm just looking for equality.
Exactly.
Everybody should be represented equally within the icons.
A live
4K Stickman figure icons incoming.
4K Stickmans. GG.
That's what it looks like. It's Stickman.
Exactly. So yeah, they're talking about the distinction between the NPC and player entities, and basically what they've done is if it's an NPC entity, the inside of it will be shaded, so it will be like grey, and if it's not, if it's player owned, it will be clear, so you'll see through it, which makes sense because you can tell, is that an NPC battleship or is it a player battleship? That's a player battleship, right? Kill it. Whereas before, go on, Ness.
I was going to say that explains why I get molested by hotels from Monopoly whenever I move my freighter.
Exactly.
Circadian seekers.
Yep. They just look at you and go, ooh, tasty. Yeah, the UI scaling can't squint hard enough at 90%. They do know this?
Yeah, apparently, what they say, it can't squint hard enough or something?
It can't squint hard enough. Dash, dot, dash. It's like, oh, I can't see. And that was very racist, I know, but...
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Did they put
That's
the
on
dash?
Yes, they
put
did.
the dot dash in there. It's on the dev blog.
What are they saying? Are they saying squint? Are they saying squint, or are they...
Can't squint hard enough. Oh.
Yeah, can't dot squint dot hard enough.
So what,
and then
why do they make a Chinese face if all they're trying to say is squint?
Mm.
Could have just left it at squint. Didn't have to give a picture.
Yeah, or even
Picture
ASCII
says
art.
1,000 words.
Especially if it's ASCII art, but it could be
hashtag
1,000.
the struggle is real.
So they said they're looking at the 90% scale, and they're also looking at the higher scaling because, well, they're going to improving the scaling issues. The next step. So we're looking at ways to make the icons more usable at 90% scale in the short term, while longer term a technical solution to UI scaling is being developed. Improve NPC and playership distinctions. We agree that much of the feedback that the subtle interior feel of the NPCs is simply not too drastic enough. So they're looking at other ways to make the NPC brackets, more clearly identifiable compared to player control chips. Which the distinction before was a cross or a square, wasn't it? So you had a filled square, which is a square outside the player, and again that was the difference. You knew that was an NPC versus AI, or an NPC versus player. Improved drone distinction. Another common feedback was the drone icons were still too complex and easily confused with ships. They're looking at that. And add icons to the overview customizations. We've heard most benefit from the new icons was gained with these with properly managed overview setups. We're looking to add the icon column to the customizable window and make it simple to click and understand which items you want the tab to display and how. There's also double as an in-client legend and a visual guide to the learning the new icons faster, which is, again, using one of the old adages, but it's muscle memory. It's what it is. Everyone's used to it. Everyone's used to doing it the certain way. It just takes a little while for them to get used to it and moving on.
I'm just glad I never have to really watch the overview except for when I move my fighter.
Well, that's what it is. I don't hardly ever see the overview now unless I log in to go out in space and go, ooh, shiny, and then dock up again.
Yeah, well, it's because I play more League than you do.
Yeah, only slightly though.
Yeah, but you just said you don't have to really see the overview. So what are you talking about?
I don't.
Because somebody's fleet warping you around?
Fuck no. If anything, I'm fleet warping my 2 freighters.
Exactly. Not for much longer. Well, yeah, no, you will.
No, actually, because it's just gate to gate.
It's gate station, yeah. So yeah, they have said that they are looking at it, and information will be put out. So keep your eyes on the devlogs. Obviously, community.eveonline.com. You'll find it there. You'll obviously find it at Total Eve and all the other news sites. They'll have it there. So that was interesting, and again, it's nice to see them actually soliciting feedback on a blog as opposed to somewhere buried in the forums with a post saying, hey, yeah, we're over here, want some feedback, please. So yeah, what's the straw poll then? Syndicate, try Sunset. Okay, vote shirts. Why Cypher or Captain Jack Swallows posted his straw poll in game, but please don't. Yeah. Moving on, it is there we go. Oh look, someone in Twitch. Bum. Time out user. There we go. Timed out. And he's timed out for 600 seconds. GG. So, moving on.
Was he onlining his pause?
No, he just said erectile dysfunction in Twitch.
I know.
Exactly. E3.
Evidently, he has a problem with his penis.
He does. Should we go over E3, gentlemen? And lady. Cypher, you're a lady
Oh,
today.
I heard some super drama.
I'm not a lady today. I got my hair cut.
Oh, yeah, you're not. Super drama, Shadow. Go on.
It was, I guess, Doom released or demoed their new game.
They did.
At E3, yes. And it did not go over well with some of the Ellen Poes of the world.
Yes.
To do some pop culture reference. How's that? That was a good tie-in, huh?
Oh, shit, son. Yes, E3 has been happening this week in Los Angeles, as it does every year. The unwashed nerds and masses.
The Nintendo World Championship hype.
Damn right.
Did that go to Qatar as well?
No, it didn't. But actually, the World Cup.
Actually, that would be a better place for a World Championship. Would be for the Nintendo, because at least it would be indoors in the air conditioning.
Speaking of World Cup,
I'm thinking for the basis of the future Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they use Qatar, in the 40K universe as their basis for human sacrifice to keep the Empire going?
It could do. You never know.
No, they use corn.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos God.
Oh yeah, well they both require a lot of human sacrifice, and I think they've lost how many hundreds of humans have died building that stadium?
A lot. Speaking of the World Cup,
was it like 4,000 or something?
It was a lot.
Or hold on, no, if it keeps going at the rate that it's going by the time it's built, like 4,000 people would have died or something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. Speaking of the World Cup, actually, it was...
Jesus Christ, what are they dying of?
Exhaustion, overworking, just...
falling off the side of it. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
I'm sure that OSHA is not a big thing there for the foreign workers that are building that.
Yeah. World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think they have OSHA.
No, they don't. On the World Cup, on the World Cup front, obviously with FIFA and all this, there is potential because I can't remember which bank it was. It wasn't HSBC because they would have just helped them. It's one of the Swiss banks is helping out the FBI with the investigations, obviously, and they're going through the information. There is a possibility that the 2018 and the 2022 World Cup draws, as in host nation draws, will have to be done again. Now, that's going to be dodgy, considering what Putin's just done and said, oh, we're going to buy 50 more nuclear missiles and do this and arm ourselves up even more. Yeah, that's... Yeah, but anyway, E3. Let's get on to E3. Who won E3? In my opinion, I'm going to say that Microsoft smashed it this year. Microsoft...
I got to say so, too. I know PC Gamer did their little presentation. It wasn't even a quarter good.
No, Nintendo, as much as I love Nintendo, they phoned it in. It was pre-recorded. And they never really do anything at E3. They normally just do a satellite event, one of their Nintendo Direct stuff, which is better. I was like getting hyped for Reggie this year, and there was no Reggie. I'm like, oh, no Reggie, no hype. But yeah, if you didn't see the Microsoft press conference, they did some big announcements this year. They showed, they showed the first working public demo of HoloLens, which I'm going to state it was good what it looked at, but what that guy saw on the table was not, well, from the camera is not what you'll see. You will see literally probably something about this big. That big work, that'll be your field of view from HoloLens. It's not going to be fully AR because the pundits and things and pundits and people and that have used HoloLens, they used it back in January. It was full field of vision. The new version, and a lot of the people at E3 have used it, they said the field of view was tiny. It was it was like a pillar box sort of thing.
I don't know, that viewer thingy, man, that was pretty sweet what he did with Minecraft.
No, I'm saying if they're using a special camera to see it on the table, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah. It won't look like that if him standing there. It would be the size of my Google Cardboard. It'd be the size of, that's what you would see through.
Well, they just got to get the resolution up and the projector to go a little bit bigger, that's all.
Well, the projector...
It's still a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. They say HoloLens is going to be shipping within the time frame of Windows 10, and the problem is...
It's not going to be out by July.
Oh, no, definitely not going to be out by July. The thing with HoloLens, that when it was shown to developers back in January... Mary Jo Foley and Paul Thurrott from Windows Weekly looked at it and they said, this is amazing. It was a full field of view. They had, was wearing an Oculus Rift. You look around and it showed it everywhere. When they saw it again at the Build conference in May, they saw literally the size of your cell phone in front of you. That's your field of view. And that was the problem. They said that, and again, the people that saw it at E3 this year, they said that as well. They said it was a small field of view. It's kind of like me putting my phone in my Google Cardboard that's here and looking at stuff around. As great as it is, it's still, that's virtual reality in front of you, and I got a full field of view for it. HoloLens will blow people away, but I didn't want people to get too hyped up for that, because the thing that I really liked from E3 this year was the backward compatibility for Xbox 360 for Xbox One. And again, it's not going to be all the games. It's going to be a fair chunk of them. But that was good. And that controller looks awesome, but I would not pay $150 for it. And stunned silence.
How much did your Google cardboard thingy there?
How much did this cost? I paid £15 for it from China. Got it delivered from China. I could have made it probably for about £4 or £5, but I was lazy. Got it.
Oh, they
delivered.
made it for like 15 pence, but
oh no! Again, this is I Am Cardboard. It's from iamcardboard.com. They make it, and again, yeah, they make it for really cheap. And literally, all you need is it's literally just cardboard. And you just need the two lenses.
For those of you on the radio listening
yeah.
to the radio, he is demoing on screen what it looks like on the inside of a Google Cardboard.
That's what you would see there. It's literally two small focus lens, and your phone would just literally place in the front there, without the case on, obviously.
Oh, look,
All you need to
how-to
know
on the inside.
It's long and black, and it opens up, and there's really nothing else to it.
This is I got it in black. You can get it in
Little
cardboard color.
goggly things in there.
Well, yeah, they're the actual lenses you look through, so you can that focus. So it focuses on it. It's because remember when you look at
like
it,
a ViewMaster.
well, yeah. What you remember is, and I'll show you on the phone demo, which I can just load up.
Can you put it on for us, Wiggles? Can you put it over your face?
Well, I can do like this. It doesn't really do anything.
Is there like a little elastic band on it?
There is. That's the elastic band at the bottom is so when you put your phone in it, it doesn't scratch on the bottom of it. So
No, but there's nothing you can like hold it to your head with.
no, not on that one. You can get ones that fully strap round. I could have got one, but I didn't.
With some duct tape?
Yeah.
You can duct tape it to your head.
Take it all out here.
Let's load the Windy Day demo. If I do, no, I just loaded Google Earth. Pretty much what it does once it loads, it shows you like that. If you on the people on the video will see it. You see two. If I do it there for the Twitch viewers and then there for the people on Skype, it shows you two separate eyes, and then that's obviously what you would use the lenses through to see, and it gives you it's like again,
unless you only have one eye.
Well, if you only have one eye, then it doesn't fucking work because you've got no depth perception.
So it's not disability qualified then.
No, not at all.
Semi-blind people or half-blind people are gonna have an issue with this. And
yes, they are,
and they should probably bitch about that.
Mm-hmm, they should do, but no. Anyway,
why should they not be able to like get involved with virtual reality?
Mm-hmm.
Dear attorney, I feel discriminated against.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Google have discriminated against.
If you're
me.
listening, go see your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time.
But yeah, going back to think, Microsoft. I mean, you really wouldn't pay $150 for a controller, would you? For a hand controller?
I don't know. Back in the day, they were pretty expensive. I mean, the controllers, when we had to buy replacement controllers for like the original PlayStation, those things were like $75, $80.
Yeah, I can understand $75, $80, even $50 for an Xbox One controller. And I understand that it is meant to be an elite gamer controller, which you've got removable sticks and configurable, but $150?
Hey, $100+ from mouse. You know,
some people do for a Razer Naga.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not an entry level controller.
Oh no, definitely. It's top of range.
Yeah, your mouse works with your computer that you buy 5 years from now. Where the next generation of PlayStation or Xbox that comes out, you have to throw it in garbage.
Well, they have said that the Xbox One controller will work with Windows 10, so it's going to work with the next iteration of Windows and then on, because it will work. Because it does. You just use it on wireless. You'll get the proprietary stuff for it, and it will work fine. So yeah, that was Microsoft's conference. They announced a load of exclusive games. Obviously, Forza 6, Gears of War 4 coming next.
Oh my god,
year.
Doom.
Yeah, Doom was announced
that
before it though.
Sexy.
That looks good. Halo Master Chief Collection, that looks good. Obviously, there's updates for that. Halo 5 looks good. Loads of things. The one thing I did like is Cuphead. Cuphead looks awesome. Retro's 30s gaming, with a new twist of new gaming. It just looks awesome. Like, actually, 30s animation looks brilliant. It's going to be good, but yeah. And Skulgish in Twitch says, $150 is nothing. Custom controllers are already a big market. I know they are. I know that's why Microsoft are doing it. They are thinking they're going to win with that. They may do, they may not.
Yeah, I mean, going after a piece of the high end market. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, it's not like it's the only option. You know, to where
Exactly.
you know, either you use this or you don't
Mhm.
play. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a full set of flight controls here to play Elite Dangerous, but
Wait, you mean like this?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
'Cause I've got mine.
What is it?
That's
the
a
Cytec or
Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster? Yeah.
Thrustmaster T Flight Hotus. BC's got the same one. It works really well. So that was at Microsoft.
I don't understand how BC has some of this stuff. I really don't.
Tax clause and welfare. That's all I'm gonna say.
I look at my wallet and I go, no. You know what?
No, I'm not gonna do that. Not
I
gonna.
mean,
buy
he's
that.
got to look at his wallet and go. Well, there's nothing in there, but yeah, I'm getting a Thrustmaster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's Microsoft's press conference. Bethesda had theirs, obviously. Obviously Fallout 4.
Oh, that looks sweet.
Looks
The
good.
hype
my
train
God.
cometh.
I am gonna lose so many months to that game.
Yeah, me too.
Minor Dave, friend of the show and regular gamer, has already pre-ordered his collector's edition of Fallout 4 with a Pip-Boy.
Did you see that the Fallout game on Android has already beat Candy
Yes.
Crush?
Biggest downloads.
That's good.
Biggest amount of downloads ever.
What is that game? I literally saw that and then I go, oh, that must be really interesting.
It's
Anybody know what it does?
It's just literally a time-killing thing till Fallout comes out. It's a little...
It's Candy Crush with a Fallout theme.
Yeah.
and then obviously Bethesda also announced Dishonored. Yeah, again, that's how it is. They had their play with that. So pretty much it was that. EA's press conference, let's say new Mass Effect, which they really said they were never going to do. New Mass Effect. Star Wars Battlefront looked really good. Mirror's Edge new game. EA Sports.
How are they going to go back and fix Mass Effect? Everybody is like mostly dead. The universe is a wreck in almost every single ending. Like
they'll do it. Don't worry. Well, remember it's Bethesda because it is.
Are we going to do like a time warp thing in Star Trek? Reboot the series through time travel?
It might do. I don't know.
The way to do it.
Ridiculous.
They may do.
Opens up all sorts of avenues.
A machete basing game. Did you see the person who pre-ordered the Fallout 4 game with bottle caps? Yes, I did. Very well done to him. He's got bottle caps for days. EA Sports, obviously, you had the updates. You had Madden. There was no Tiger Woods this year. It was, what was it, Rory McIlroy, PGA 15.
Oh!
No Tiger Woods this year. I wonder why.
Tiger's finally gotten the bump,
He sucks now.
Well, yeah.
He got rid of that hot wife because he wanted to bang some young bitch, and now his golf game sucks.
Now it's just all injuries. The guy can't stay on the course for more than 3 or 4 matches in a row.
Exactly.
He's just building us up for some really ridiculous super run.
Yeah, EA Mobile, big family ticket as usual for their mobile and their ticket. The usual family-friendly games, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, that sort of thing. I'm reading these all from Mashable, by the way, and Mashable basically said, as a result, virtually every year, press conference it was bloated clunker of missed section. The E3 audience isn't the right target for a lot of the announcements, which is true. It's the same with EA. It's what we've done in FIFA. We've made it more textured and the ball curves. And in NBA, you can now jump and do this, and you can do the throw. And yeah. Ubisoft's presentation, Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy, Far Cry, and all the usual stuff. South Park.
Poor Tom Clancy, he died, I mean, and what's funny, the games are still coming out with Tom Clancy names. The books are still coming out with Tom Clancy written in big letters at the time. I just got through reading 2 books by Tom Clancy.
I tell you now,
it was written by the other guy.
I tell you now, as soon as there's something or someone pisses off the Tom Clancy estate, that's it, done, finished.
Oh yeah, somebody pisses off the estate, it's done.
So yeah, there was the usual things there. Assassin's Creed.
What's that really big? Oh, Ring World. That book is not even on my radar.
Discworld?
And Discworld, yes. And apparently, it is maybe number 2 behind the Harry Potter series in terms of popularity book sales.
Because there's a the 1970s book science fiction novel Larry Niven is Ringworld, but then you've got Discworld, which was Terry Pratchett. I had to think there for a second. In Terry Pratchett, yeah.
Isn't she coming out with a new book series?
50 Shades. Yeah.
No, not 50 Shades.
Oh, the new.
50
funny
Shades
enough,
of Harry
actually,
Potter?
forget.
That would be great.
Yeah. There's the new
50 Shades of Hermione. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
No, isn't she coming out
yes.
with an Americanized version of?
Well, there's-
You're a sick old man.
Harry Potter a bit later in life. I think there is one. Speaking of 50 Shades, the book Grey just came out. 50 Shades from Christian's View. And it's like,
Yes.
Isn't it just, I got my dick sucked, I ate some pizza, I got drunk, I fucked a bitch. Yeah.
Watch what I do to this chick. Watch what I do to this
chick.
Look, watch what I can
guys-
get this nice girl to do. What I can get this nice girl to do. Oh yeah, check this out.
It's like a documentary. Am I getting followed with a camera?
Exactly. Anyway, back to EA, back to E3. Sony's conference. Final Fantasy VII Remake, proper HD remake, as in proper remake. I'm going to say this. If they remake it and they make it look good, it looks fucking good. My jaw dropped when I saw it. But they said they're going to revamp the combat system, they're going to do this. I'm like, the point is that the reason Final Fantasy was played in such a way, 7 and 8, is because that's the nostalgia of playing it. That's why I own it on Steam. That's why I own it on my original PlayStation and want to play it. I don't really want to play a HD remake that is, just for the sake of it being done and redone. And also, they said if you've ever played Final Fantasy VII, there was a part where you had to get the main character Cloud, he had to cross-dress for something. They're going to keep that in. But apparently the big boy gay scene in the club, in the steam room, they're going to take that out. Now that's controversial. That's
just wrong.
It's just wrong. They need to put it in there. But yeah. So there was that. Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, Kickstarter, which, funnily enough, that Kickstarter announcement was... They announced the Kickstarter for Shenmue 3, and it hit... Well, it was the fastest game to hit $1 million on Kickstarter. In fact, the second that they announced it, within a minute, it was already at like $400,000.
I think that's what Captain's Quarters needs. It needs a steam room. Every station needs a steam room. Can you imagine what the steam room down in the Russian stations would be like?
Yeah.
Russians love those steam rooms.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, there's that. The usual Sony things. Although the one big thing this year that changed from Microsoft to Sony was Call of Duty.
Pandemic Legion steam room would probably be crazy too.
PL steam room. She's got Elise standing there, Call of Duty. Call of Duty has moved its exclusive stuff from Xbox to PlayStation this year. So they get all the map packs first. They get all the bonuses first, which is a big thing if you like playing those first. If you like playing all the updated, obviously new Destiny content. Just the usual stuff from Sony. And we talked about Nintendo. Sad Nintendo. Oh, dear Nintendo. And then the Square Enix conference, that was okay. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Hitman, Just Cause 3, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Star Ocean, Faithlessness. So some good stuff. So overall, I say Microsoft smashed E3 this year with this stuff. Obviously, CCP were there. They were demoing Valkyrie. They got a mention in quite not like main field mention in stuff this year, but they got quite a mention in the side shows and things like Twitch and IGN and stuff like that. All put their shows on. They're on there, displaying things with Valkyrie. So it's a good showing this year, in my opinion. Not as much.
Hilmar is definitely out there pushing hard, man.
Yeah, because we might have employees to send.
Well, no, I mean, he's just definitely. I mean, he's just out there. I mean, what he was in. Was it Taiwan a week or so ago?
Yeah, and then the guys from Newcastle, the Valkyrie guys, are in at E3 at the moment. So yeah. That's how it is. So yeah, E3. Again,
but hey, it's been a big week in Steam.
It has. There's been. I haven't spent
the Steam
any
sale. You know what? Okay, so like the person I know, who uses Steam quite extensively, that I hear talk all the time. Is BC, of course,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, like the Thrustmaster,
Yeah.
which I'm sure he's got multiple Thrustmasters, but he's got a lot of stuff on there. But for me, this was my first time getting involved with Steam, and I did it in conjunction with the sale. So I've been picking up a number of games this week.
Mm-hmm. How much do you reckon you spent so far? Don't you want to look?
No, it's probably definitely north of 100 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I picked up some stuff like what did I pick up?
You picked up stuff on day one. You told me you spent like $60 to $70 on day one.
I was still buying stuff that was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, what did I get? I got Homeworld Remastered. I forget what I paid for that. It was probably in the teens. H1Z1. Farming Simulator 15 I picked up. That was probably like $19.99. But but they were all good sales. I haven't bought anything where it was just like 10 or 15% off.
Mm-hmm.
The most expensive one I think I bought, but even that it was on. It was Elite Dangerous. I picked that up, and Arma 3.
Mm-hmm.
Arma 3 was at a sale price. I think it was like 60% off. So,
60% off today. That's what it was. It's got
the $30 one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was down to like about £25, and it's still like BC came in and said, "Oh, it's 60% off." I was like, "Dude, it's still too expensive for me to buy because it just is. It's just." Yeah, I agree with Erratic Buddhist. So, been through so many of these sales, and I have a lot of games already. I've got like 95 games in my Steam library. I've hardly played any of them.
Well, it's like, it's like on my wish list at this point. I've got Grand Theft Auto 5 sitting there, and I'm just not paying. It's not a game that I'm just going to pay $59.99 for, even though I get a great white card or whatever. I don't think it's hit any real sale that I think is meaningful. DayZ and Kerbal Space Program are on my wish list. Both have been 15% off since day one, and I'm just going to wait.
They'll go low last day. It's traditional with Steam sales. The last day, even when the game you want's been on sale and you've missed it, they have an encore day where they just put tons of stuff on. So that's like the 90%. The days where you do get stuff for 90%, a lot of stuff. So
I mean, one of the things I will point out, because I used it yesterday and BC did too. I mean, for those who may be unaware,
mm-hmm.
June 2nd they came out with the refund program that if you had it for less than 14 days and played it for less than 2 hours, 2 hours.
Well, that's for the
you can request a refund.
That's for the automated refunds. So if you just want to request it, and if you've played it for less than 2 hours, if you've owned it for 14 days or less, or played it less than 2 hours, it has to be less than 14 days. You can just request and get an automated refund, no questions asked. Over that, you can still request a refund. You just have to go through, and they can go yes or no, whatever. You say you bought it, and it's like cheaper.
But I think that I think it obviously makes it for, hey, look, why not buy it? Why not try it out? And you can now look. I don't know that you can just do this even on the automated over and over and over again before maybe you get locked out of it somehow. But it was like I'm trying to think. I bought that Democracy 3, and I just found that it just, as much as I liked some of the inner workings of it, it was just not something that I thought, I think I could like sit there and play,
exactly,
whatever.
Go buy the Batman series when you're at it.
Some of the Batman games are good.
Amazing.
I think right now I've got enough on my plate to be able to, kind of sink my teeth into that freaking Arma 3, man. That is just like I'm sitting there going, "Holy shit, man! I need to get McLean on, on this, and like we can literally go out."
Yeah.
No, someone will yell grenade. He'll be under his desk. It'll be really awkward.
I don't want to freak him out, but.
Dude, I played that game at the very beginning when they had that free weekend for it, and I just couldn't get into it.
Machete Bakes makes a good commenting game. Machete Bakes makes a great commenting game. You can't get a refund for a game if you get a game card for money with the deal, or if you redeem the GTA cash card with your GTA 5. So be very careful with that. So if you buy it and you get the Shark card because you get it and you get the code to put in, they will not refund you because.
Well, you want to know what was something. I mean, you've got to be very careful sometimes about what, when you're reading what's on sale. Yeah. Because in my wish list, they showed the other day that GTA 5 was on sale like 33% off or something. So I said maybe now's the time for me to buy. So I go out there and click, okay, and it says like you've got different things there. You've got GTA 5 and a Great White shark card.
Yeah.
GTA 5 and a great white and with some other
game,
shark, whatever. Okay, but the top one, the one that was 33% off, was GTA 5 : great white shark card and bull shark card. Okay, and it was like, okay, so that was just the 33% discount on the cards. And if you didn't look at the difference between this is like trying to read contracts in Eve. Make sure you read that contract.
Exactly, and that's the thing. The other thing as well, if anyone wants to buy a GTA and you don't buy it in the Steam sale, if it doesn't go down low enough, buy a physical copy from Amazon. You will save yourself $5, maybe $10 on the retail price. That's what I did. I bought mine from Amazon. I saved myself £6 on the retail price.
I think BC was saying out on Humble Bundle today, they had a bundle that had World of Warships beta in it.
Oh, that was the Humble
Bundle. That was
yesterday,
I believe.
That was the Humble Bundle E3 ticket. I did purchase that. It's the E3 digital ticket.
It was the E3 ticket.
Yeah, I did purchase that. It's always good to check Humble Bundle because
he was buying it because it came with something for World of Warships, but he didn't need the code for World of Warships, so he actually gave that to me. So.
Yeah,
actually, it's still there.
It's still there.
I'm on the site.
You got 15.
Yeah, because I know he did it
hours.
this morning. Yeah,
you have 15
No,
hours.
I'm surprised that this game Dying Light is still really rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I never played it. I kind of thought it was going to be crap, but it's still they're still charging a lot of money for it. It has really positive reviews. My baseline for if the game is doing well is how much do they charge a year later.
Exactly, it is how it is.
Still at $55 for the game.
Yeah, again, if
I linked it.
Yep,
linked it for you, Wiggles.
Cheers, buddy. But yeah, that's my.
Not to take away from EVE Online. No. Not to take away from EVE Online, but you know what? Sometimes it's good to get a little bit of
different gaming.
And look, I mean, people are way bigger gamers than I am. They're already out there and whatnot. I really have not played other games, other than a little bit of I think what used to be the Ghost Recon Online, and now it's Phantoms or whatever. But like since picking up Eve, I mean, I've been so heavily involved in Eve, but I'm going out there and I'm going to get something, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the kind of, especially during what I'll call a lull in what is going on with Eve. I'm pretty sure that a month from now I will be hands off those games and doing some other things.
Exactly, that's what it is. You go back into Eve, and it's the same with any game. It's kind of like what I do when I play WoW. And Urzil knows, I'll log in, I'll do some bits in WoW, and then I'll say, right, I'm logging into another game now, and I'm going to play that other game, whether it be farming or Elite or Space Engineers.
You see, I've been having a good time on Farming Simulator lately. Although I will say this, okay, I ran into my first instance where BC reared his ugly head on Farming Simulator. I'm sitting there. I'm out harvesting. I'm manually harvesting. Okay, but I've got a couple of hired workers going. Okay, and I've got my tipper sitting over there waiting to be loaded into, and I'm just kind of circling around. He comes into the game and he's doing something or whatever, and then next thing I know, he's just standing on the side of the field. And I go,
watching
exactly. You? I go, exactly. That's exactly what. If you ran a farm with BC, expect that he would just be standing on the side of the field, going, "There's two hired workers out there. Dirk's out there, freaking, doing whatever with the field. There's this empty tractor over here that I could be helping Dirk go quicker with, but I'm just having a good time standing on the side of the field."
What we used to do.
Hey man, at some point there's too many chefs in the kitchen.
Oh damn right, damn right. What we used to do in the previous game in Farming Simulator 13, around the map you could find 4 golf carts. They were electric charged, so you charge them up or whatever. But they were just golf carts. You could find them and bring them back to your farm.
I need to get him like one of those, what are they, the roundabout things, or a Segway.
Segway.
Well, I mean, I don't think a Segway would work for him.
Yeah, you could do. You could get a Segway mod in there. But we found the golf carts and bring them back. And whenever there was a problem, we say, "Oh, we've crashed a tractor," or whatever. And then Dave would be, "Oh, the foreman's coming." He'd get in the little fucking golf cart and drive out and go, "You've done this wrong," and push something out or whatever. And it was fun. We also used to have the tractor flipping Olympics in 13 because there was a way you could flip tractors up, and you'd go with a massive thing and you flip it up, and it would. You can't do it in 15 now because of mechanics and problems and that. But yeah. Anyway, Steam sale.
Yeah, I mean the physics are a little bad, from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Like Goat Simulator bad or?
No, not Goat Simulator.
Well, I mean, just from the standpoint of like crashing or I mean, there's no you don't do any damage, or
No.
to your, but. No. We were kind of joking the other night, because like every time I would go through another field, I'm like, oh, I'm checking local while I'm in this field. You never know who might be waiting on the other side of the field.
Exactly. Again, that's.
And I know people. It's farming simulator. I know, but sometimes you need kind of that.
Again, it's one of those things.
Sort of thing.
Again, as you said, it's one of those games you just unwind with and just chill out with, and that's what it is. And again, games are games. It's what they're there to do. They're there to think. Oh, Dirk, have you played Papers, Please yet?
I have not played Papers, Please.
You need to. That's funny as fuck.
I do have it. I have not.
It's 8-bit it's literally 8-bit graphics.
Yeah.
It's 8-bit music, and it is just. You'll love it. Last little bit. Last little bit of tech news, and then we'll get back into.
Well, BC's he's wanted me to get Prison Architect, and I'm like, no,
that's a good game, man.
It is good.
That's a good game.
I'm like, I just can't keep getting these games that are like, and how would I build the world?
Mm-hmm. Last little bit of tech news.
You didn't answer if you're going to put LSD into Turkestan. It's a pretty legitimate question.
Was it? I don't know. I mean, I might use it as a tool, but I don't know that I'd want it just freely around out there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Last little bit of tech news, and then we'll move back to Eve for the last few minutes of the show. Microsoft announced yesterday some massive changes at the company. They do the annual yearly reshuffle. Stephen Elop, the guy who was the CEO of Nokia and then went into Nokia as a CEO and then came across back to Microsoft. He's out. There's a few others out, but one who is out, and I need to find the name. I'll find who it was. He's the guy behind the Scroogled campaign at Microsoft. The guy that was basically saying, "Oh, well, this is what's happening." The whole Scroogled, Google are using your data and tracking and this and that. Who was it? Mark Penn, that was it. He was the advanced technology and education guy. He's leaving, as Mark Penn, who was the chief insights officer and the originator of the now defunct Scroogled campaign. There have been links tying Mark Penn to possibly going to Hillary's campaign. Possibly as, spin doctor, sort of chief whip, sort of, I'm going to get this done and stuff. Interesting thing from there, but off the back of that, Nokia has announced today, because Nokia as the company is still partly owned by Microsoft, but the actual company itself still owns their networking divisions and stuff like that. They are going to return to phones later this year when they're currently restricted from using its brand on phones till Q4 2016. But what they are going to do is there has been some stuff going around that basically says they are going to look for suitable partners to make, Microsoft makes mobile phones and we simply design them and brand them and are able to license them. So Nokia, who were the biggest handset manufacturer in the world at one point, are going to be looking
back when handsets basically made phone calls.
Mm-hmm, and sent SMSs and then had two-tone ringtone notifications. But yeah, they basically there's possibility of them coming back, and I say good for it, because we need competition in this world. You need cheap phones. For example, you can go out and buy like the cheap Lumias, like the $20, $30, $40 handsets off contract. They use a crappy operating system on them, but they're just a phone.
I mean, there are cheap phones out there.
Oh, of course.
But what do you mean? We need cheap phones that do all kinds of things.
Well, imagine if you had Android, or not iOS, because Apple would never make a cheap phone to run iOS, but Android with their Android One project, $100 phones, $120 phones. Yeah, Motorola did it with the Moto E, which was like $89 or something like that. It's still cheap, but it's not cheap. It's not as in you can just go buy it, I'm going to just spend the money down on it. Some third world countries don't have the ability, people don't have the ability to do that. And it's interesting to see how the world is changing.
But you've got a number of manufacturers out there at this point,
Mm-hmm.
who are making low model, whatever you want to call it, low price third world, versions,
Mm-hmm.
of these phones, So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know that it's a place where they're gonna strongly be able to compete.
What you got there?
So this phone I bought here in
Lenovo.
Bermuda. It's called it's
the Ligu.
It's called Ligu. Yep, it's a Chinese brand. It's brand new. It's like $150. It literally it is very comparable to my S6.
Yeah.
Way cheaper. I bought it because I needed a GSM capable phone in Bermuda when I landed. Until I bought. The only reason I bought a Samsung was because I wanted the extended battery, and getting any accessories for these things like extended batteries, they're just not popular enough to make them yet. But this was one of the best phones I've ever owned in my life, and it was almost expendable dirt cheap. And this is their top of the line model. They have much cheaper phones that you could buy.
Is that the Elite 3?
This is the Lead 2.
Oh, the Elite 2, okay.
Lead, L-E-A-D.
Where's the Lead 7? I'm just looking at their products on their site because I want to have a quick look at it.
Very, very good phone. I've used Android phones for half a decade now. I can't say one bad thing about this phone other than I can't buy an extended battery, and I'm on the phone literally 18 hours a day. So I needed
It's
more
only
battery
$150.
life.
Get another phone.
That was I swear to God, I almost did that.
It's not a bad looking phone. Let me just turn the scripts on so I can actually see it on the site on the specifications. 30 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front camera, 5-inch display, which is QHD 960 by 540. Yeah, you're right. Battery. It's only got 2,200 milliamp hour battery, which it's for that sort of again for that hardware. What's the processor in it? Does it actually say? It doesn't say the processor.
It's a Chinese processor. It's not. It's not like an ARM.
1.3 gigahertz quad core processor. So it's not.
It's not a Snapdragon. It's some of the company.
It's tracking you.
It's not the fastest out there, but you know what? Yeah, and there's skill issues in Twitch. There's just buy a 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack brick. I've got 2 in my bag for work, and that's how it is.
But that's not a solution. I can't have my phone with my headset and a battery connected to my phone. I agree. That's just not tenable.
I agree. But going forward, that's what you look at.
Put your phone in your holster, and you put your battery pack in your pocket.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, that goes in my pocket. But yeah. So should we move on to the last dev blog that was released today, the update on the Drifters, a bit of RP from today.
Role play.
Yes, 2 dev blogs today, and this one was by CCP Affinity. I'll get the links in all the usual places. It says an update on the Drifters, and again, I like the RP stuff. RP's great in Eve because it adds to the backstory and it adds to, why we do this and why we play the game. Starts off, it says an update to Drifters, The Wandering Death. It goes, greeting Capsuleers, CCP Affinity and Red Dawn here from Team Space Glitter to give you a little more detail on the past, present and future of the mysterious entities, the Space Drifters. With the Karnax release, the previous inaccessible unidentified wormholes popping over New Eden opened, allowing you to traverse them for the first time. These wormholes only appear in systems that contain the ominous Jove observatories, which Drifters and the Seekers have been guarding in a rather aggressive manner. She goes on to say that Capsuleers have also been encountering large named drifter sites which encourage groups cooperation and timing to unlock the deepest secrets. It's talking about the Drifter recap. During the rare release, shortly after the discovery of Caroline's star, they stumbled on cloaked structures surrounded by huge lightning clouds. These structures seem to be of Jove origin and was visited by previous unseen scout drone called the Circadian Sleepers. This is all backstory thing, but this all ties into the upcoming sovereignty changes where we need to destroy the Drifters to get the modules to make Intosis links. So, I mean, we like the backstory, obviously, because you need to have it. Is it good that they incorporate... Is it good from a player standpoint that, say, for example, Caroline's Star was incorporated, and then obviously Hydrostatic Podcast had a few things where they're talking about Drifters, and then maybe some of that stuff gets used in there, or they talk about it. I mean, that's good for the game. That's good for the health of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I actually got into talking about on the Neocom podcast the other day. Where it seems as though in the last year, I mean, kind of the lore stuff, as far as I was concerned, literally meant nothing for the first, probably 7 years that I played this game, because it really didn't have a whole lot of basis on anything other than kind of what was written way back and why things maybe are the way they are today, right? They were background. And what we've had, I think, a little more of in the last year are some of these things where you can kind of see something new that came up on the lore that actually then turned into something in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that the concept that maybe players can feed back into that is a good thing. I think it brings up, for that segment of the population that is big into the lore, which there is a sizable segment out there. I think that that's good for them as players, and also potentially for the game's evolution as well.
And to Skillflux Tai, yes, Microsoft bought Nokia a little while ago, as in like nearly a year ago now. So that's why you get the new Nokia Lumia handsets or the Microsoft Lumia handsets. But yeah, I agree with you, Dirk, on the comments of, incorporating some of the player elements into it. And when you look at things like, Burn Jita and Burn Amar, and by the way, Burn Amar, well, if you're in Amar, it could technically be burning right about now. Because there was a post on Eve News 24 a couple of days ago on the 17th. Burnhamar has been confirmed.
I think it starts tomorrow, yeah.
It's the 19th of June onwards. So if you're in Amar, it could be done. It could be burning. So be warned.
I would just be careful that if you're anywhere.
Exactly.
I would just be careful that obviously the focus of the people setting up Burn Amar this year, or who used to set up Burn Jita, and have moved it to Amar because Imperium and Max and all that kind of stuff. But you never know who might set something up in Jita.
Exactly.
Just as an aside, because there's so much traffic that goes through Jita, and it's obviously the better place for targets of opportunity, especially if they think that, I'll bypass Amara and I'll just go to Jita.
Well, exactly.
So I would just be careful everywhere for the next few days.
Exactly. You should be careful anywhere in Eve. You shouldn't really be one of those people that's saying, I'm just going to be ignoring things and carrying on like there's no problem, because you will lose shit like that. You will blatantly lose stuff. You'll get shot, because it can happen anyway. In any space of Eve, it can happen, and it does happen. You see people get ganked all the time, and that's,
Streamer ganks are the best.
Yeah, it is. Cypher, do you want to fill us in on streamer ganks?
How much fun it is?
Yeah, you could do.
Oh, I started a Empire Corp just for that, and we've been pretty successful of late.
What's your kill board? Is it green?
I don't even think I have a kill board.